Trapper. That's right, GMFB on a Monday, everybody. Welcome in Jamie, Manti, Rashad, and Kyle. Really awesome Sunday, which means a very busy hour. Kyle, no pleasantries, no hi, how are you? Frankly, I don't care. I just want to know what highlight you have from Sunday afternoon. I care a little bit. That felt mean.
Yeah, that was a little.
No, Jamie, I totally respect it. Not caring in this sense. We want to get people to football. Let's go. I'm not even talking now. Can we skip the generic blue football? They win the game 27-24. They really needed it. They get to 500. The Lions fall to 5-3. And afterwards, J.J. McCarthy, pretty emotional after a win. This is cool.
It was awesome. Yeah, it's just when you're hurt, being on IR last year and being out for 5 weeks, it absolutely kills me not being out there with those guys because I love every single one of them. And, I know they got my back and I got theirs the rest of the way.
We made too many critical errors, man. Some of our discipline, the penalties caught up to us. I mean, we had multiple opportunities to set ourselves up to have a chance to win that game, and we made none of them, really. I got to clean some stuff up.
You just said, uh-oh, Manti. Why?
Probably means they're going to go live this week, guys. That's that tone. It's going to go live. They're going to do some barrel run tackle.
What's that mean? Give us more.
When you hear that lingo, yeah, right. Everything is live. Like, they might go live kickoff, live punt return. Like, everything's live. Field goes live. Like, when I hear those words from my head coach, I'm like, uh-oh. We ain't got no walkthroughs. It's just like 2 days all over again, training camp.
That was an incredible, perfect response. J.J. McCarthy, just like Manti, wears his heart on his sleeve, goes into a hostile environment in a return from injury and takes down the enemy in their territory at Ford Field. Rashad, I'll start with you since we now understand what the Lions' practice situation is going to look like this week. What did you take away from Vikings-Lions in Detroit?
Well, first, I just want to let y'all know that Inside Live run on a Wednesday is no joke, folks. You don't want to do that. But, yeah, they're going to have to go through it. We understand that one. But, JJ, I spoke last week. I was asked, do I think he can take them to the playoffs? And I got to bite my tongue just a little bit because there's something about him that maybe he just got a little bit of an it factor to him. He went on the road 2 times already in his 3-start tender so far in the NFL, and he's went on the road and won. He's won against the Bears. Now he's won against his arch rival that's dominated them in this series against the Lions. So I have to sit back and say, man, he's putting the ball on the dime when he needs to. Obviously, there's always some stuff you need to clean up. But the nail in the coffin two-nailer to end the game, he didn't look for his top receiver when the game was on the line to end it. He looked for the open guy. So he's going through his progressions. He's running. He can get out of the pocket. If he stays healthy, he might be able to surprise some people with that roster that they have over there with the Minnesota Vikings, especially the way their defense is playing.
Yeah, Shad, I'm going to echo that same thing. J.J. McCarthy played phenomenal. Yes, I mean, he showed some grit, and that's what they needed for the Minnesota Vikings. But I got to give my flowers to Brian Flores and what he did with Blake Cashman and Eric Wilson. Like, all I saw was 2 middle linebackers blitzing all day long. Like, they played extremely aggressive. And when I saw that, I saw how it also impacted the game. There are so many times where the Detroit Lions offensive line, they were letting D linemen through. Why? Because when Brian Flores kept dialing up those interior rushing by the linebackers, those O-line didn't know what to do. It's like, are the linebackers coming? Are they dropping? And I thought that Brian Flores, the whole game plan was like, we're going to set things on our terms, okay? So if we have somebody that is like Jahmyr Gibbs, who is so, who is so dynamic out of the backfield, the worst thing you want to allow happen is him to run a route. And so what I saw with this aggressive approach by the Minnesota Vikings is it caused them to keep Jahmyr Gibbs in. Now, as a linebacker, that's what I want. Now you're playing on my terms. Now I can act like I'm blitzing you, but I actually have you in man and get some pressure. So that's what I saw in a whole bunch of those plays by Eric Wilson and Blake Cashman was Brian Flores said, hey, set the tempo, set the terms on their side of the line of scrimmage, and we're going to win this game. That's exactly what happened yesterday, KB.
Yeah, I think this is one of the surprises of the day. I don't think a lot of people had the Vikings going into Detroit and winning like that. But I just say good for J.J. McCarthy. Honestly, good for him. I think a goal yesterday would have been, at least from a fan perspective, just go in there, play the entire game, don't get injured, and play decent. I think that's all you could expect right now. Don't get hurt and play sort of well. Not only that, they won. They won. And J.J. McCarthy is so young. I don't follow him on whatever his social media channels are. Maybe I should, but I'm sure as someone from his generation, at least over the past month or so, you got to be on social media and see some of the things that were being said about you, because there were some really, really intense things far beyond the normal pecking at athletes. All this like, he's healthy and they're benching him. They should stick with Carson Wentz over him. Bust this and failure this. Like, it's been pretty intense. And we've talked about it here on this show. I'm not saying I'm innocent of it either. If you see any of that, the fact that he's played, we're not even counting how many games he's played. We're counting how many quarters J.J. McCarthy has been out there. He's running, he's throwing. Not only did he get the plane down and play decent and survive the game, he got a touchdown to Jefferson for the first time in about 2 months. He ran and he beat the Lions. I feel like this guy's been through it. Even in the post game, he's all disheveled. He's got this hat on. His hair's all wet. He's almost crying. Like, I really feel for him. He's been through a lot. And now he has to return to the state of Michigan, play against Hutchinson. There's a lot of memories there. There's a lot of scar tissue there. He didn't play great. I'm not even sure he played that good, but he played, he finished, and he won. And it's like, as a Vikings fan, you're like, all right, we can work with this. I think we have a guy here, because there was a lot of sky is falling, fear-mongering going on for the past 2 months. And I think at least for one day, JJ showed up and he's like, I can win and you can win with me. And I think that's a cool story.
And whether you like it or not, something we celebrate here on the show is when you are your true, authentic self. And for those who may have done the same thing to J.J. McCarthy at the end of his Michigan tenure when he won a national championship with the meditating and the sitting next to the goalpost, he's still doing it, guys. People are still on him yesterday about the Vikings. He arrives. He doesn't even go to he drops his bag in the locker room, comes out, and there he is. He's not taking a pregame snooze. He is doing the meditating thing, authentic to himself, wears his heart on his shoulder, and that's what you saw in the press conference last night. Whatever he is speaking to himself, it worked in Detroit, all right? Those are your Vikings. They finally get back to 500 within the NFC North and the NFC. Moving on.
1 day away until the NFL trade deadline. Who will be buyers and who will be sellers? And what are the trades that should happen tomorrow? Let's go ahead and tell you as we welcome you inside our CBS Sports HQ studios. I'm Jordan Giorgio alongside our own Rand Carthon. It's great to see you, Rand. Let's go ahead and start with the 7-2 Patriots here. Let's keep it rolling here, because this next one is pretty juicy. Right now, the Minnesota Vikings sitting at 4-4. You actually have them making some moves, getting some much needed depth right now at quarterback, adding some veteran presence behind J.J. McCarthy. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I like Russ here. We've heard potentially Kirk Cousins. I don't see that happening, because I don't see the Vikings giving up a high pick and having the Falcons pay down that contract. And I just don't see the Vikings taking on that number. But adding a guy like Russell Wilson, if you think about Russell Wilson when he was at his best, is he had a strong defense and he had weapons all around him. And I think going to a team like Minnesota, not as a starter, but being a quality backup for them, they're sitting at 4-4 right now. So they're not out of it, not out of it in the division, and they're not out of it in the wild card. And so I think if something were to happen with J.J. McCarthy, because he hadn't been able to stay healthy, that if you had a veteran like Russell Wilson there, he could right the ship and keep you in contention of being the tournament come January.
You think he wants to be in Minnesota, though?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
To have the ability to throw to Justin Jefferson and Addison and Hockenson and be able to play with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. Those are all guys that are playing, really good football at this point, and that would give him much better weapons than what the Giants currently have.
Lastly here, defensively, you actually have the Colts